Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it. I'm excited to have a little bit of fun today. We're going to discuss a few different brands that you may have not heard of, but it's time for these brands to get more attention. Cool? All right.
All I got is bourbon.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. All right. Before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and jump back into our topic. Right? Every few episodes we do a special topic. We call it questions from the courtroom. So the last time I did this question for the courtroom, the question was, would you spend $300 on the brand new Heaven Hill aged 19-year-old whiskey? That was a question. So I'm gonna go ahead and read a few comments. Again, I can't go through them all, but these are a few that kind of caught my eye. So number one was Sharon Johnson, 4648. Sharon said, "I'll just stick with Old Forester 1910, $59 out the door." Hey, I don't blame you, Sharon. I'm with you. My good friend, my buddy, Tony Lima. Tony said, "I don't think there's a whiskey on earth I spent $300 on." I hear you, Tony. I hear you, my friend. Trust me. $300 is a lot of money. I get it, man. Burner 27, he says, for $300, no. Wow. All right. I can get 3 bottles and 2 Monte Cristo number 2s for that price. That's the true statement. John Wilkinson said, fantastic list. The whiskey market is alive and well. I'm personally most interested in landing a bottle of the Havana and the Precision Fine Grain, the Michter's, the Bombergers. He said, if I saw the Heaven Hill at $300, probably, but I doubt I'll find it for any less than 2 to 3 times MSRP, if not more. And I definitely won't be shelling out more than MSRP. So I respect that, John. David Both 7218 said yes. I like that. All right, David. I spend that much on Heaven Hill 19, especially with the positive reviews it's been getting so far. I respect that. All right. A couple more. Kirkland 937 says, before I jump out there and just say no, would there be a feminine this is hilarious. Would there be a feminine genie coming out of the bottle with it to offer you with every wish you desire? If not, I'll just stay with the good old tried and true bourbons from Wild Turkey, Brown Ferment, Michter's, Heaven Hill, Buffalo Trace, and maybe even Jim Beam. Great show as always, Judge. Cheers. Kirkland, that is hilarious. Silver Speed 2 says, that's an absolute yes from me. Okay. If I see Heaven Hill 19 for $300, it's coming home with me. I like that, Silver Speed 2. And last but not least, my good friend, he comments all the time, Big E819 said, that's a hard pass. I like that. I'll buy a pair of limited Air Jordans. Goodness. All right. He said, I'll buy a pair of limited Air Jordans before spending $300 on a bottle of bourbon. I hear you. I hear you. Those are funny, boy. Oh, man. All right. So stay tuned for the end of today's episode to hear about the new question from the courtroom. Cool? All right. So I love shining light on brands that people may or may not have heard of. And even if you heard about it, maybe you just saw the bottle like in the liquor store. Maybe a friend kind of told you like, hey, I just bought this bottle, but you don't know a ton about it. So I'll try to give a quick overview of each of these brands. And these are 5 brands and bottles that I personally love. Fair? All right. These are not, by the way, I should say not ranked in order. So there's no order. Even though I'm gonna start with number 1, doesn't mean that it's better than the other 4. Cool? All right. So the first one on the list, this comes out of the state of California. They obviously, I love them because they are truly grain to bottle. They grow all their grains, their rye, their corn. They grow all their grains, if you will, which is cool. They distill it, they bottle it, they age it. They do it all themselves. They're farmers. They've been around for over 100 years, but they just started to distill whiskey in the last like 10, 15, closer to 15 years now. People love their bourbons, but they are definitely known for their rye, and I'll explain the reason why. So number 1 on my list comes out of Atwater, California. This is Corbin Cash. When I think of Corbin Cash, I think of the owner, David. David's a super cool guy. For their rye, they actually use a Merced rye, a very unique type of rye. It, to me, when I sip it, it sips slightly closer to a bourbon than it does a rye. I love that, first and foremost. And then also the rye, it has like a very sweet, almost like a strawberry kind of a note to it, which is very non-traditional for a rye. Most times when you sip a rye, you get like the pepper, you get the, more of like that earthy kind of a note. You still get a little bit of that, but you also get that sweetness as well. coming from that Merced rye. So I love Corbin Cash. I'm in the process of trying to do a barrel pick with them, so more to come on Corbin Cash, but check them out if you have not tried them thus far. Please make sure you do. All right, number 2 on the list. I have to give credit to one of my buddies, my buddy Chip A. So Chip, who lives down in Charleston, South Carolina, I've seen this brand before, but I've never tried it. And he was like, Judge, I'm sending you a flight. He sent me a flight, and I was like, I need a bottle of it. So I got a bottle of one of the ones he sent me a sample of. I gave him some cash. He shipped it to me. Coming from Charleston, South Carolina, this is High Wire Distilling. So this is their Jimmy Red Sweet Mash Bourbon Whiskey. This is a single barrel. Folks, this brand, they're doing it right. Distilling their own whiskey, absolutely amazing. I've seen this before. They use this unique corn type. They use a red corn. So to me, it's definitely, it doesn't align to more of your traditional bourbon that you always get like the caramel brown sugar notes. This is a bit more of like a sweeter type of an experience, if you will. A lot more fruit, a lot more cherries, a lot more blackberries, just way more fruit forward, if you will, from that perspective. But it is a standard bourbon, not finished at all. But I'm telling you, Jimmy Red, man, High Wire Distilling. The next time the Judge goes down to Charleston, South Carolina, you better believe I'm stopping by High Wire Distilling. Absolutely. Make sure you check out their whiskey. Trust me, you will not be disappointed, especially in this Jimmy Red. All right, that's number 2. Oh man, number 3, 4, and 5. All right, before I get to number 3, 4, 5, real quick, 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know what are your thoughts on some other less known brands that people should be aware of. And last but not least, please make sure you also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cheers. Woo! I'm sipping this bad boy right here, that Jimmy Red. Quite delicious. Damn, that's good. All right, number 3, we are going to go to the lovely state of Tennessee. A lot of brands in Tennessee, but you may have not heard of this one before. This is J.W. Kelly, also the Old Milford Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So the story about J.W. Kelly kind of goes like this. It was a brand that was started back in 1866, came out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is where they are again now. Like many other brands came out about, J.W. Kelly started distilling his own whiskey back in 1866, went through Prohibition, shut down like the majority of other distilleries did as well. Fast forward to about 8-10 years ago, someone else wanted to restart the brand, J.W. Kelly. What they're essentially doing is taking bourbon and whiskey in general, bourbon and rye, they're sourcing it from different places, primarily from Kentucky, as well as from Tennessee, different distilleries, and putting out their own unique batches. In this case, the J.W. Kelly, this is a single barrel double oak. So truth be told, they have a small batch version of this. I think it's like 94 proof, I believe. I tried that. It's budget friendly. It's like $35-$40, but honestly, it didn't align for my palate. It was a little thin, it was missing something. Fast forward to my buddy JP, one of my patrons, a good friend of mine. We were all hanging out one night after like a barrel pick that we did, and I tried it, and I was like, holy crap, this is delicious. So JP was like, Judge, you gotta try it. So I love that bottle, that single barrel that he had. I couldn't find that one obviously, but I was able to find at one of my local stores a single barrel, a double oak J.W. Kelly. Is aged at least 5 years, and I got it. I tried it at my local shop. I was like, that is coming home with me. Chattanooga whiskey source, but still great. It's a double oak, can't beat it. It was like a $65 bottle, and trust me, it's amazing. And I mean amazing. The Judge loves a double oak. Big time. All right. Number 4 and number 5. Ooh. So number 4, when you think about the state, think about the state of Louisiana. What comes to mind? JT Mellick. And I love JT Mellick. Oh my gosh. I am like the biggest JT Mellick fan. So when I was at JT Mellick, I think it was last year, doing my barrel pick with JT Mellick, stopped into a liquor store and I found another brand, not JT Mellick, obviously a different brand that was in the state of Louisiana. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Bought it just on the whim, just to try it out. And it was amazing. So number 4 comes from Distillerie Acadian. This is Cajun Cut. Now this is straight bourbon. Like, as we know, JT Mellick is rice whiskey, right? Which is amazing again. But this is true bourbon, a distillery in Louisiana, Distillerie Acadian. The whiskey to me is ridiculous. There's something about, it must be the heat, the humidity in Louisiana. Everyone knows, if you've ever been there before, how hot, how humid it is in Louisiana. There's something about how that heat makes it impact when the whiskey's aging in the barrels. It's just pulling certain like sugars out of the barrels and just creating a wonderful, and I mean a wonderful final experience. Folks, for a less known brand, Distillerie Acadienne is truly special. And I mean special. This is just a random bottle I got on the shelf. I think it was like $50 and I loved it. Loved it. Me and my buddy Paul, we were there, we were hanging out after the JT Mellon barrel pick, and we saw this, we're like, let's just grab it. We grabbed it, and I'm thankful that I did, because the next time I'm back in Louisiana, you better believe I'm getting another bottle of Distillerie Acadienne. Number 4 on the list. All right, before we get to number 5, so today's question from the courtroom is, what is your number 1 favorite less known whiskey brand? Go ahead, drop a comment. What is your favorite less known whiskey brand? That is the question from the courtroom for today. All right. Number 5. Oh man, this brand I personally love. And I mean I love the concept. I love the people there. This is coming from Ohio, Columbus, our good friends over at High Bank Distillery. So High Bank, based in Columbus, Ohio. This is their Whiskey War. They have the Whiskey War, obviously, product line. They have their double oak. This is their double oak. They have a whole bunch of different finishes that are out there. They have like Madeira finish. They have an Amburana finish. They have a lot of different finished whiskeys as well. But I will tell you, Adam, who's one of the co-owners there, as well as the broader team, Tony, Paul, these gentlemen are just creating amazing whiskey day in, day out. So much that a few months ago, myself and my patrons, we all went there. They treated us right, and we did a barrel pick with them with a High Bank Distillery, and it's coming out this Friday. Yes, 2/28. And here's a little preview for it. Woo! We got the little bag. This is I'm excited for this one. This is our first actual release where we're actually partnering with Sailbox. So trying to spread a little bit of love around, partnering with Sailbox. Extremely excited to partner with them. So this is our brand new Whiskey War. Look at that. Oh man. So for this one, you got the specialty cap, right? The metal, the guns, like truly metal. Very nice. You got the bag as well. Got our nice, we called it the wedding commitment because it's so good, you want to marry it. This bottle is damn near amazing. Why? Here's the reason why. So High Bank was fortunate enough to let us use a type of wood that is not, I think I've seen it, I've searched for this high and dry. I found it in one place. It's a type of a Brazilian wood. It's actually more of like a Central America, South American wood. It's actually made in a few different countries, but it's in Brazil a lot. It's not like Amburana. Let me say that again. It's not like Amburana at all. I get it. It's completely different, and the secondary finish with this Brazilian wood is called Balsamo. Mwah, mwah, mwah. The team, we were floored how good this whiskey is. Releasing this Friday, 2/28, to our patrons, our group. Can't wait for everyone to get a hold of it, and it's damn good. Hey friends, until the next time, as we see in this courtroom, peace, cheers, most important. Take care. See you guys.